back to Geek Out is saying I'm the host with the most. And I'm here with Colleen, my co-host with the most.
I was about to say, wait a minute, he gets host with the most, and what am I going to get? I was like waiting to see.
Yeah.
I'm the host with the most, and here I'm with, oh yeah, it's Colleen.
It actually says down at the bottom because we have new lower thirds.
Oh, it doesn't say that I'm the meanest person in the world ever anymore?
No. Because I was doing a test when I was trying to build these new walkthroughs, but we do it through HTML files.
Which I don't understand any of it, but he was like watching videos and he learned how to do this thing in OBS or whatever. So then he's like, oh, I made you a new lower third. I'm like, okay, cool, fun, right? So he sends it to me.
Colleen Guzman up at the top, and then is the meanest person ever.
Didn't it say the meanest person in the world ever?
No, just the meanest person ever.
Oh, I thought it said the meanest person in the world ever. I was like, well, at first I looked at it and I was like, whatever, it looks about the same. I wasn't really paying attention to it. And then I looked at it again. I was like, hey, don't put that on the show. So it was pretty funny. So now you can kind of like change it up every once in a while.
Yeah, without having to create a whole graphic to, type in the words in there. So it's kind of...
So like when we have guests on the show,
yeah,
do you have like a preset kind of blank one, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's just the background. It's like the red part and then the gray part with a little yellow in the behind. But yeah, no, you can just type it right in.
Type it up real quick. And really, like, I don't know if people know about this and people wonder like how you do all this magic or whatever, but really you don't inherently know how to do this stuff. You look it up like anybody else would.
Oh,
you know how to do the coding and stuff. So when you listen to the videos, you understand like what they're saying. Like, I don't understand the speaking that they're doing when you're listening to it, but you understand it and you can implement it. So if somebody understood it and they wanted to take the time, it's really...
They should be able to do it pretty...
Just doing the research and finding out how to do it.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. We're happy that we're...
on YouTube.
You can learn cool things on YouTube. It's what it's all about. It's about that YouTube thing. So... we had something really interesting happen, which happens every 4 years around this time. We have a new president of the United States, a new POTUS. POTUS.
Oh, okay.
President of the United States.
No, I know what it is.
I was at work and I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it.
Oh, did you?
I watched the inauguration.
Okay.
So
I was at school, so I didn't, and I was concerned, and I haven't yet. So.
Yeah, and I did not vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I'm going to let it be known. I usually don't talk about politics, but I did not vote for Trump. And it's just... from what I saw of Trump, his campaign, he brought out the ugliness in this nation.
I did hear from people, like some people were messaging me to let me know that it got ugly today during the parade.
Yeah, well, it got ugly, with people opposing him, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
No.
That's not okay. That's showing that...
I mean, the people that history remembers that we remember are the people that peacefully demonstrated.
Right.
We remember the people whose voices were heard through what they had to say and their understanding and their caring and their peacefulness, not through their violence.
Not through riots.
No,
not at all.
No, not at all. It's not like Dr. King was out there rioting in the streets. He was actually totally against that. He didn't feel like that built us up at all. So I was really disappointed to hear that happened. I don't have a problem with people having a problem with this president. I
don't have a problem with
I just don't want them
people
to act
having
that
a
way,
problem. I don't want them to act that way. But getting back to it, I was watching the inauguration, and this is the first time I've ever heard Trump be presidential.
Really, he
and
didn't
he
look
was
like a
really.
reality show character.
He didn't. He must have had a great speechwriter because he seemed presidential in his inaugural address.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't watched it, so
But
I
the thing,
can't.
the
I can't
thing he
comment.
did push was that he didn't want the government to keep going the way it was going in the back, in the way stuff always happens. But he was poking at Republicans as well as Democrats, and I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I'm somewhere in the middle. I like some aspects of the Republican Party, and I like some aspects of the Democrat Party.
I'm not political at all in nature, so I am a meat popsicle.
Well, I think from what we talk about, we're kind of like in between, I would think.
I believe most people actually are in between. It's just that sensationalism sells. So if you're trying to sell advertising, time slots and commercial space, then you need to go for the most polarizing and sensationalist stories you can. So in television and media, you don't see that. But most people are in between. They wouldn't consider themselves rightist or leftist, or at least that's as of 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas made a good point right here. The peaceful protesters outnumbered the rioters, and I'm happy about that.
That's good. That's good. I mean, at this point,
it could have been worse.
At this point, we need to. I mean, he's there. There's nothing we can do to change that at this point, unless. I mean, we just need to be there, and we need to make our voices heard in a way that they're actually heard. That's all it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it needs to be.
Well, everybody was saying before he was, because I know people. Oh, he needs to be impeached. And this is when he's just president-elect. Before he's even being sworn in, you cannot do that to someone that's not the president, because he hasn't taken the office yet. So that was kind of like going on deaf ears. You can't even do anything until he screws up. So that's one downside to it, because we have to wait until he screws up, but he can screw up so badly that who knows what can happen from that. Which I don't know. It's bothering me. President Trump, that's kind of weird to say, President Trump. It's bothering me, President Trump.
Stop saying it.
That
say it anymore.
I mean, he's president.
I know, but if we could say it less, that'd be awesome.
That's how you have to address him now. Mr. President.
I don't have to.
President Trump. Well, you don't have to.
That's the nice thing about living in America. I don't have to. I have freedom of speech, or not to speak, and I choose not to speak that word. It's like he who shall not be named. I don't say the V word either. But it's
I have a take on that too. Like, my take on that position is his brand is Trump, and so I'm still calling him Trump because it's his brand. But yes, he is. He got the title.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the title, and certainly, from a dignitary type, standpoint and international, he will have to be addressed in those settings as president. He will be addressed in those. He will be addressed in those settings as President Trump. But I mean, that's not his brand. Even now, that's still not his brand. His brand is still Trump. Right. And so I still call him Trump because that's the brand he built.
Yeah. So, getting back to it, what was I talking about? Oh, because I was talking to President Trump. Now,
address him and his hair.
I'll address you and your hair, which he keeps saying it's real. He said it was going to rain, and they're going to see that his hair is truly his hair.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah. But this is the first time I heard him be presidential, and I hope he actually does what he said he was going to do, and said he wasn't going to raise taxes. He's also saying that Once he does, if he does away with the Affordable Care Act, it's going to be with something better. But some of the choices you made for your cabinet are some really, really bad choices. And one of my, and this is close to me because it's closer to you, is for education.
It scares the heck out of me. It scares the heck out of me.
Secretary of Education, because she doesn't seem like she has it all together.
She doesn't understand education at all. She has no background in education. She nor none of her children have ever gone to public education. She has no idea what she's talking about. She has no idea what we do. She has no idea what our capabilities are. She has no idea about the students that we service. Mm-hmm. But again, they come from a place where they believe that people like that don't deserve to be serviced. So that pushes us back to a time before we had these acts for people to bring this equality so that our low-income kids, so our disabled kids do get to be serviced and do get an education and a fair education. So I have a huge problem with the things that she says. And I am seriously concerned for education should she get to go in there, because she is going to push for her friends in the private sector to privatize education. And then there won't be, in privatized education, you don't even have to be certified to teach. I came into a charter school that I ended up loving, but the reason they brought me in was because their science teacher, was not certified. She was not certified to teach science. And she taught science for 5 years. And their kids were so low, and their scores were so low, and their math scores were low and everything, that they were in trouble with the state, finally, after years and years of kids being put through this like this. And the charter school was so small that those kids had the same teacher for 4 years before they moved to another teacher. So they had 4 years of this terrible education because there's no regulation. And that's what we could be putting out there. I'm all for school choice, and I'm all for charter schools and stuff being available if they're good. And let's say your kid is not a good fit for public school. Okay, and so maybe they need to go somewhere else, or you have a religious belief, or you have a reason. But in the end, all those kids are going to have to go out into the public world and work in the public workplace with all those people that they couldn't manage to get along with and do things with in the public school system. So what are you setting them up for if you're taking them out of that environment and not helping them as children learn how to cope with that environment and deal with different personalities and how to work with other people and how to deal with people that may not like you or whatever the case may be?
But, and we're kind of like dealing with that as a nation right now because of who is president now. It's one of those things where this was one of the first times that that people were extremely scared for a president to come into office.
Yeah,
terrified.
Terrified for their rights, their basic rights as people. So I don't know. I would say that
Thomas says, just remember, a lot of the power is is at the state and local level. She has limited ability to affect change in education. I mean, depending on what kind of things that they sign and put through as law, it could override.
Yeah, and Texas, unfortunately, is not known for making super great decisions when it comes to a lot of political things. So I don't know.
I mean, wasn't No Child Left Behind a Republican?
That, bless its heart, had good intentions. It just didn't pan out the way people thought it would. And that's the problem with education, is there are just too many differences among us humans for you to put down a set rule that's going to fit everything, everywhere.
Right.
It's hard. But people don't understand education anyway. So, and a lot of people who are powers that be that make decisions about education either have never been in a classroom or have been in a very maybe a private classroom or something else, so they don't have some of the
It's
experience.
just a completely different aspect, and especially when you're thinking about like Title I schools, which you're kind of like different altogether.
And some of my kids were really scared and upset today because they get this trickle down from their parents, right? Because as a little kid, like I don't remember caring who the president was, right? I don't even think that that was me. I didn't care.
I mean, we were just kids at the time.
Yeah.
Why would we need to care about who the president
right, like,
was?
because what did that affect my little universe, right? And they have more bombardment now, with their phones, and they have YouTube, and they have social media, and so they have more bombardment of everything that's going on. So some of them were really, really concerned today. And I told them the same thing that I just told you earlier. I told them, we are where we are. The best thing we can do is be the best people we can be in our environment. And if we feel like something's wrong, have our voices be heard in the proper way so that they're actually heard. And then we talked about, like writing letters to congressmen and senators and protesting peacefully. I said, there's ways to protest even with your clothing. So we talked about like how you can protest with your clothing, because we were talking about all the congressmen and stuff that didn't want to go to his inauguration. And I said, there are better ways to protest than not go, because that just makes you look childish, in my opinion. I said, that just makes you look childish. I said, but go and wear a Martin Luther King t-shirt. Wear a gay pride t-shirt if that's where you're coming from. Wear a rainbow tie or something. Like show, let your voice be heard in a subtle way, but let it be heard. So we were talking about those kinds of things. So I just tried to make my students feel better about, this is where we are, but this is how we can be good to one another, and this is how we as America, because there's more of us than there are of them. So if we come together and we're kind to each other and we're good to one another, if we can ever learn how to do that, we'll eventually get there.
Yeah, but I think the main thing, my problem wasn't as much with Trump, because he's a showman.
My problem is the rhetoric that he allows, and the hate speech that he allows. That's my problem.
That's my problem, because of that. Not necessarily what he is and isn't going to do, because he hasn't done anything yet. Be it good or bad, I don't know what it's going to be yet until it happens. Which, it makes you think and makes you kind of worry a little bit, but, what can you do?
And I'm kind of worried that, because appearances are kind of important, right? So I kind of feel like our nation is going to look like a joke to the other nations, right? Like, are they going to want to take us seriously? Like, we're the joke. Like, we've become a reality television show, basically. And in fact, one of the news outlets, I don't remember which one it is. I think it's ABC. They have that news show, Newsweek or News Now or something like that. Now I can't remember. It just went out of my head. 2020. It's one of those like kind of things. So they're doing like a reality TV show style news report this week of the Trumps moving in to the White House. It's like, it looked very like Kardashian-ish.
Wasn't it kind of the Trump moving into the White House?
I don't know. I just saw like an advertisement for it, and I was like, really? Has the presidency become like the Kardashians? Is that like, is it gonna be, presidential wives of Orange County or something, and they're gonna be, bitch slapping or whatever?
You should follow him on Twitter and Facebook. It's all him trying to sell you his merchandise.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally...
Well, not totally. It's that in propaganda.
Yeah, I don't want to follow him on Twitter. Like, I've always been curious because I see
here's
these
the thing.
tweets being spread, but I'm just like, I just don't.
Because I don't see him going through and actually sending a tweet. It's somebody else that's typing it for him, because why would he do that? Most celebrities don't. There's some that do, but most don't. And someone as busy as Trump would be?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't see how anybody could do that for somebody else.
Like tweet for somebody else? You
Well,
know who
that
has
kind
the
of
best
stuff.
tweets? Like, I don't want to talk about Trump anymore.
I
Let's
have
talk
the
about
best
Twitter.
tweets. I tweet the best tweets.
No. You know who has the best tweets that I saw a story about? is Wendy's has the best tweets. Like Wendy's, the restaurant, they are like roasting people. Have you seen that story?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's so hilarious. So somebody started by trying to roast Wendy's, and they were asking like, where's the nearest McDonald's or whatever, and then Wendy's posted up a trash can with like French fries coming out of it or whatever. And then it just became like this roasting battle. So now Wendy's is like roasting their customers on Twitter. Like people will say something to them and they'll roast them. It's super funny. Like you should look it up because it's really funny. Just look up Wendy's roasts people on Twitter. But that was hilarious because automatically it just gets them, you know, all that publicity. And it's just funny, like little weird stuff. I should look it up because some of it was funny. Like I was really cracking up.
We should say before we get too far from this letter or this subject being addressed that none of the opinions that are expressed here on camera are representative of official positions of any particular institutions anywhere. I think that should just be said out loud.
Oh.
Just to be absolutely clear, they're just personal feelings. Is that? Would you say that's fair?
Yes, that's fair. Yeah, yes.
I think that's fair.
Yes, I don't represent anybody but myself. God,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have that on my
Right.
shoulders. I don't represent anybody but me, and half the time I barely represent myself. So I'm just saying. Let's see.
But if you don't agree with anything we say, don't watch us. We're going to talk about the stuff we want to talk about.
Or just disagree and
Or
cohabitate.
disagree.
What's wrong with that?
How about we see...
What? We're allowed to disagree with people?
Yeah.
No,
you can't disagree
you
with
can't
me.
do that. You have to be like you like what everybody else.
Yeah, Thomas says Wendy's roasting is epic.
It is epic.
Yeah.
So this guy is like making fun of them, and he's saying that their beef is frozen or whatever, and they're like, no, it's fresh. Like since 1969, we use fresh beef, right? And he's like, oh, so you deliver raw meat in a hot truck? And they're like, well, where do you store cold things that aren't frozen? And he was like, y'all should give up. At McDonald's got you guys beat with their dope blankety blank breakfast. And they were like, you don't have to bring them into this just because you forgot that refrigerators existed. And they just
Here's
like
where I have to
roasting
go with Wendy's. Wendy's, I hate your pickles. Go back to your old ones.
Yeah, he never goes to Wendy's. Well, you know,
Just because of the... And this is for the only thing. Only because of the pickles. That's why I don't like going there.
really, it's just the pickle.
Just the pickles.
That's a weird reason. Does everybody agree with me? That's a weird reason. Like,
Who is with
Just-
me about Wendy's
just don't
pickles
order the
and
pickles.
on their burgers?
just say no pickles.
No, because I want
Bring
pickles
your
with
own
my
pickles
burgers.
in your
Bring your own
purse.
pickles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with her.
Just bring your own pickles and say no pickles. But the rest of the food is good. But we can't eat any of that food anymore. We're not allowed.
No, we can't do that.
I hate you. I mean, I love you, honey.
I think we're getting.
Carbs.
I think we're getting healthier.
We are. And it's not like it's a New Year's resolution. Like, everybody's all, New Year's resolution, I'm going to get healthy, blah, 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 blah.
When does the new year become the old year so you can just abandon that resolution?
Like, June. You
Oh,
have
okay.
to give it like 6 months.
Oh, all right,
And then,
okay.
And then you're good.
Good to
You have
know.
to give it like 3 days.
3 days.
So January 3rd,
January
you're
3rd.
good to go.
Yeah. No, but ours is like we had to change our lifestyle. Like for medical reasons, it was like, you like 40? Would you like to see 60? Okay.
My.
So you
You should
can't
probably
eat
exercise
like that
and
anymore.
stop eating carbs. Oh, well, if you put it that way, I
That's
guess.
brutal.
I know. I was like, oh, that's harsh. Okay, I'm going to Wendy's. No. They
To
treat
cope.
me nicer. They roast me less. So
No,
do you-
then it's just full of pickles.
it's all the pickles. Vince's
I don't want the
obsessed with
pickles.
The pickles.
Wendy's, change your pickles, and I'll go back to you.
Pickles
And just
Alamo
have
Draft
salad.
House stopped giving him raw jalapenos for his popcorn. Those are the two. Those are his like two
Yeah.
pet peeves right now.
But you know, I think they have them. Is when I ask for them, they don't go to the right place to get them, because they say they have those in somewhere else.
But half of them look at you like they don't know what a pickled jalapeno is. Like, you have to really explain it to the servers.
I have to explain it in detail of what a pickled jalapeno
I
is.
don't know why this is order. It is so hard to order.
And he's like, you mean the stuff in the juice? I'm like, yeah, that.
The ones in the juice, that one. Because they're like, well, we have fresh ones that we. No, I don't want raw jalapenos. No.
Processed food only.
Yes. Give me the junk, please.
I want the junk, yes.
So aside
you
from
good.
not eating junk, do you have any other New Year's resolution? Do you have any geeky resolutions, since this is supposed to be a geek show?
I'm going to watch all of Clone Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Clone Wars.
Well, yeah, since you started it without me. That's real nice.
Well, I kept telling you, let's watch it.
It's busy.
We'll watch it all. The whole thing.
The whole thing.
All the seasons.
I saw some of it and it seemed really cute. I
Yeah.
really liked it. It was really good.
It's really good. I quite am enjoying it. And then after that, I want to watch Rebels, but Rebels isn't on Netflix yet. So I have to find that like somewhere else.
What's it on? Like Hulu or something, or? We just
What,
gotta find out what
Disney
it's
or
on.
something now?
Oh, it's a Disney? We don't have it on demand? Maybe like the current season, but not the back stuff.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
I'm kind of like in the same vein as you. Like, I want to branch out my fandom a little more, so I would like to try more anime this year. That's my 2017.
Well, I started doing that last year.
You
I started checking out anime.
What was that one that you made us watch? That you were watching like every episode of it, with the weird little brother and sister that like each other a little too much, and they like play the games, and then
No, that's the one we saw at Draft House for Anime at the Alamo.
But I thought that there were other episodes, and you watched other episodes after that. No?
No.
Was that just me watching the whole movie? Seemed like several episodes.
Yeah, it
or
was
what?
several episodes.
Well, then what was the other one that we watched? You watched Death Note because of PPAP.
Yeah.
So,
I was
of
watching
course.
Death Note. That
Of
was
course.
that's a
but
good
no,
one.
there was another one. It was a weird, like fantasy. Was it Sword Art Online?
Oh yeah, Sword Art.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
They're like weird, but you like them. It's kind of weird. I get this weird feeling with anime. I'm like, ooh, it's really weird. Oh, I like it. Oh, wait, it's really weird. Oh, wait, I like it. I don't know. I feel confused every time.
So stimulating.
I know.
Hey, Roger
Why is
Herrera.
there so much color and everybody's eyes are so
And
bright?
then,
they're too close to each other.
Nolan
they're
C.
brothers and
3D
sisters.
Printworks is on as well, or was on. Because then he said, "See ya." I think when we started talking about politics,
He was like, no more politics.
it wasn't
peace out.
talking about politics really.
I thought it was too much politics. I'd like to steer away from that forever if we could. That'd be awesome.
It had to be addressed, and it's something that happened. It's part of history now.
Okay. Anyway, onward and upward.
So geeky.
So are you
So
gonna
what are
ever-
your geeky resolutions?
Yeah, I want to hear what some of y'all have geeky resolution. Are you gonna ever watch Attack on Titan without being silly?
If they English dub it, yes, I will.
So you don't like
Yes.
the sub,
No.
really?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of flack for that. But like I have to because I guess it's because I'm a slow reader and I have to like pay attention to the shapes of letters and words, and it means I have to like look at the bottom of the screen and pay a lot of attention, and I miss a lot of what's going on at
And
top
then you
when
get
I'm
that
reading.
anxiety because you know that the
Yeah.
words are gonna drop.
Yeah, so you're pressured to read what you got to read real quick. Where I mean, I'd rather listen to a bad dub of something than you know.
I mean, I can
have to
see
read it.
that. I can see that as a reason. I don't know. There's something about the sound of them like speaking in the Japanese that I think is interesting. Hey, and what's the thing that I saw that there's this new app or whatever that it like turns you into an anime, but it's asking like all of these creepy, weird like permissions to like do all this stuff on your phone, and so people are like.
I just heard about it yesterday. I can't help you.
Yeah, I just heard about it yesterday too, so I was like,
What?
oh, what is that? Yeah, it's some new app where you can like download it and it turns you like you take pictures of things and it turns them into like they look like they're from an anime or whatever. But it's either a Chinese app or a Japanese app or something like that.
Oh wow.
And so when you download it, it's asking for all these permissions to like do this stuff in your phone. So then people were like freaked out because they're like, you know, the Chinese are trying to bug our phones or something, and like, so I was like, I'll let other people use that app and I'll just see what it does. Like, Like, I know everybody's obsessed with the Snapchat filters, and I don't even have Snapchat.
I don't even have Snapchat, no. Geeky resolutions draw more like Frazetta.
Draw more like Frazetta. Who's Frazetta?
Who's Frazetta?
Tell us who that is, because we don't know it.
And that's from Thomas Harris. And Nolan C 3D Printworks. Patrick says, I bet.
He's back. So ask him what his 3D print work.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been.
Because I thought he was gonna 3D print.
I bet
a 3D
his
printer.
is yes a large scale 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's making right now from scratch, literally.
Yeah, so I think that would be cool, but I don't know. That's not his resolution because he's already making that.
Finish it.
Like, to finish it is to actually work on it.
Hey, finishing stuff counts. That's a good resolution to have. How many unfinished projects? Well, I don't know. Maybe you finish everything that you start.
No. We still have dice trays that we're supposed to be working on.
Any of the crafts we were supposed to do and film. I keep saying I'm going to talk about doing the crafting on the show so that people will pressure me to like make sure that I finish it, but like we're not famous enough. We don't have enough followers to pressure me, so it doesn't work that way.
Oh, our son just recently got his Kickstarter fully funded.
Yeah.
And
so he's gonna make entomology wreaths.
Ento wreaths.
So I'm probably gonna help with that. He and I, oh my god.
So that's his resolution really that he has to do it.
Awesome Joker wreath, and he and I have been wanting to make it. Dude, we've had the supplies for almost 2 years.
Oh wow.
So that's going to be his resolution, as I was trying to say before I was cut off.
I'm sorry.
That's going to be his resolution to finish it off because they're going to be delivered by December of 2017. So because he has to go through and catch the bugs, and then
pin them, preserve them,
kill them, preserve them, pin them, whatever.
And you can actually see videos of pinning bugs if you're curious what that looks like actually on our channel because our son actually taught me how to pin bugs for a project that I had to do. And so if you're curious on
that's where it's from. Frank Frazetta is the artist that drew a ton of fantasy book covers, and I like he did a ton of Conan covers.
Conan.
That's why I remember that name.
That's right. Conan. I remember my dad used to like his artwork
Patrick
a lot.
says, LOL, exactly. I have so many projects I just want to be more organized in planning and structure of projects and mapping the entire process. Oh, Lord. I have to become a project manager just to do the stuff that he's doing.
You have to be a project manager of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to project manage myself this year.
Yeah. He's going to put it on spreadsheets.
I think that's a problem for a lot of creative people though. Like we have an idea, right? And it seems like a good idea and you're going along with the good idea and then it makes you think of 3 other good ideas and you're like, well, that's a good idea. Let me do that. And then you start the 3 other good ideas, but you never finish the first good idea. And then it becomes this snowball of stuff and you're like, 3 years later, you're like, I'm going to give all that stuff to Goodwill. Because I didn't do any of it.
I'm going to give away those dice trays to Goodwill, unfinished.
Never give up on your dreams.
Never stop.
Never give up on your dreams.
Do you see all the stuff we have in this house? We have
Talking about never giving up on your dreams. I know you had a dream that you wanted to have the Supergirl and the Flash do a musical.
Oh my God,
and
yes.
they're going to.
Shut up, the CW, listen to me. Oh my God.
It's going to come out March, I think March 21st and 22nd. And it's going to be Supergirl, and then it's going to be a crossover into the Flash where they're going to actually do. Which is weird though, is they seem to do all these things with Supergirl kicking it off, but it's not that until the end. Like happened with the last crossover.
That's gonna make me so mad if they don't sing. Y'all need to sing throughout the show. Sing. They were both in Glee. They both can sing. Just sing.
Well, apparently it's supposed to be the whole The whole and the Flash episode is called The Duet.
So good. I am such like a musical theater type, Pitch Perfect-y kind of Glee, like nerd, geek, whatever you want to call me.
Gleek.
I just love the whole singing. Like every time something had a singing episode, like, and you know they all did. I don't even know who started this trend.
Angel.
But, oh my God!
Didn't they do it on
did
Angel?
Have a singing angel.
No, they did
There was
like
one for Xena,
Moonlighting.
Warrior Princess,
Yes,
right?
there was one
I don't
for
know
Xena.
I don't know what came first.
Didn't they do it on like Moonlighting too? Way back in the day in the 80s?
Yeah. I mean, there have
So
been...
a number of shows have done it.
Yeah. It's my absolute favorite thing. So it just made sense, and I've been like talking about it, and I totally know that the CW didn't hear me and listen to me, but I have been talking about this forever because there's these two Glee kids, and they could totally do a singing episode. Like, I died when they did it for Agent Carter. Died.
Yeah.
Oh, God. They danced and sang, and it wasn't enough, but I was super happy. So
I like. I think it was the first season on Flash, where they were doing karaoke at the end, but that's all you got of the singing.
Well, have you ever heard the?
I saw that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Okay, so the guy who's the dad, what's his name? The Flash's adoptive dad. What's his name? I can't think of his
West.
name. Okay, yeah. So West, and then his daughter's old boyfriend, the one who's dead now, who like gave himself up. It was him, and then it wasn't Barry though. It wasn't Grant. It was somebody else. But they sing like the theme song from Firefly a cappella. It's to die for. I gotta find it, and I'll play it for y'all. Okay, talk about other stuff because
we'll put up a link to it because they're not going to be able to see it.
It's in my head. It's in my head now. I have to hear it.
Anyway, but we're supposed to be talking about this, and it's your thing.
But we talked about it. Like, it's gonna be awesome. Like, I'm so excited.
So catch that on the CW, March 21st and 22nd.
Oh, it's Cisco. So y'all should check it out. Just like seriously, just Google Flash Stars Sing Firefly, and it totally comes up as the first thing. Listen to it. It's the best. It's the best. So they can sing. So Cisco can sing, and West can sing, and Barry can sing, and Supergirl can sing. So yes. I'm so excited. Okay. And isn't March when Old Man Logan comes out too? Because I'm totally stoked about that. They keep pushing that trailer.
Yeah.
It's like popping up in all the feeds and stuff now. I'm totally stoked for Old Man Logan too. Which is weird. I didn't know he became old because he regenerates.
Well, but I think it's like because he's like old.
Like old.
Yeah.
Like finally.
Because it's like way in the future, isn't it?
No sé. I haven't like.
Well, in the comic books.
The only comic book I ever read was like Wolverine and Jubilee, like 20 years ago.
Because I think there's like a comic book series called Old Man Logan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the movie's not called Old Man Logan, is it? Isn't it just
I
called
don't know.
Logan?
I haven't
Just
seen
Logan.
this. Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen the previews yet.
Oh
no.
my God, it looks.
Although
really cool.
I'm thinking to myself, actually think about it. Like, you don't actually have to physically age to become mentally old, and kind of like just get off my lawns, you darn kids, and I mean.
Well, he's always been kind of mentally cranky old like that, so he didn't need to physically age to catch up with that. But now he's like gray-haired.
But now that he's hundreds of years old, though, think how cranky he must really be,
Cranky.
Crotchety old man.
Super cranky. And then he's got to kind of, ramp himself up and come back for one more fight. Some of the best casting, like, ever done in a superhero movie is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, some of the absolute best casting ever, I think.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, for him doing the character, yes. But Logan's supposed to be much shorter than that.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, like the first time I saw Hugh Jackman in that role with the hair and the grizzled look, and it's just like, yeah, that's Wolverine.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was. And I'm not even an X-Men fan, and I was like, yeah, Wolverine, that's him.
Totally, it just like totally works.
Well, I remember back in the day where it was going to be Tom Cruise.
Oh, thank God it wasn't. Nothing against Tom Cruise, even though he's, bat poop crazy, but nothing against Tom Cruise. I love him as an actor. I mean, I think in his personal life he's made some interesting decisions, but not my place to judge. I don't really care. But no, Tom Cruise, no. Like Hugh Jackman, yes. Tom Cruise, no. Tom Cruise, yes, as an actor, but as Wolverine,
You
no.
don't think Tom Cruise could have pulled it off?
No.
Because we've been used to watching.
But there's something about Hugh Jackman's face. Like, he looks like Wolverine. To me, even his face. Like, Tom Cruise with his crooked, like, bulbous nose and everything. Like, not so much. No. Like, I know Tom Cruise can, like, buff up and everything, and he does really good action movies, but there's no way I buy Tom Cruise as Wolverine. It doesn't happen.
There's his voice, too.
Yeah.
He's got, like, a young, kind of pretty boy kind of voice.
Yeah, I would agree with
He
that.
He could do Cyclops, but not
Wolverine.
Not Wolverine.
Yeah, no.
He's too short for Cyclops.
Put him on stilts.
Yep. Give him some lifts.
Camera
It'll be
angles.
Good. I think a lot of the X-Men casting has been really good, though.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that they've done a good job. So, I hope they continue to do that. I'm excited for this movie. I'm also excited for the new John Wick. I loved John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick looks awesome.
There's something about Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves can totally act, too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who else can totally act that we watched a movie by, which wasn't a geeky movie, but it was like a super, super good movie, is Will Smith. I don't think Will Smith gets enough credit for being a good actor.
No. Well, no, I've thought he's been great for a very long time.
Yeah, me too.
If you've never seen the movie 6 Degrees of Separation, totally see that movie. It's one of his best performances, and it was when he was a lot younger.
When he was still the Fresh Prince, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the Fresh Prince. I loved his raps. They were so funny.
But it was...
Like, his Freddy Krueger rap is the best ever.
Definitely check that out.
I
6
really
Degrees
love
of
I Am
Separation.
Legend. Like, I Am Legend is, for me, like... We talked about zombie movies some last week and stuff. Although, again, I Am Legend is not really technically a zombie movie. It's more of an infected...
Thomas Harris said he's supposed to be my height, and I'm super short. He also Thomas Harris says they talked about Glenn Danzig as well. I don't know that he can act though. Can he act?
No comment. No comment.
No, I've never seen him act. Has he been in anything?
I have no idea.
He's the lead singer from Danzig, right? Is that what they're talking about?
I don't know. I was getting ready to look it up because I don't know what the heck y'all are talking about. And I'm not ashamed of saying I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a who, Colleen. It's not a what.
It's a what?
Okay, yeah, it's Hollywood. It's a what.
Yeah. In Hollywood, it's a what? Ooh, no. No, they did not talk about that. That is terrible.
Who?
This
What?
Glenn Danzig guy. Oh, no, no, no.
Who is it? Show me.
There's so much nipple. It's not appropriate for YouTube, but...
Yeah, that's who I thought they were talking about.
He's like an old man, and he's like, I'm goth, and my nipples hang out. And
Well, not
no.
back then.
No.
Because the first X-Men was a long time ago. It was a while back.
So it just
Okay,
goes
so
to
back
show they
then
made the
he
right
looked-
decision.
Still, like, no. He didn't age well.
No, they made the right decision
Yeah.
because look at all the mileage they got out of Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I think Hugh Jackman's the man.
He says, no, Danzig cannot act. Yes, they did.
No, that's terrible. We should never talk about that again. You know what? It's something that I'm afraid that we should never talk about again, that we haven't even started to talk about, but I saw it, and I feel disturbed. So I don't know if the fans know, because I'm, like, usually, like, Ninja Turtle, but I'm also, like, a super huge Archie fan. Like, I'm a stupid, like, huge, like, I have tons of those little Archie Reader Digests that you could get, like, in the shopping lane. I have so many of those, and I also have, like, the Archie versus Predator and, like, a bunch of the other comics and graphic novels and stuff, and I have Archie signs, and I love Archie. I love Riverdale. I love Jughead. I even love Betty and Veronica, even though they're like, all over Archie, but it's like an old-timey thing and it's, a womanizing thing. But whatever. It's a thing. I still like it. The CW is doing a show called Riverdale.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay.
But just in passing, I didn't read about it.
Okay. Number one, Jughead and Archie are not friends.
Okay.
Number two, Miss Grundy, who is the old lady teacher, like old lady, looks like olive oil, but like an old lady. She's a hot French teacher who's doing it with Archie.
Ew.
Ew. Ew.
Ew. Yeah.
Ew. Like, no. Like, why did they do this? And who let them? Like, why?
Dawson's Creek. They're bringing back Dawson's Creek as Archie.
Kind of seems like that. Yes. Yes. And it's like Archie is Mr. All-American, but he's got too much pressure. Because in the comics, Archie is Mr. All-American, but he's like a derp, So he's always like screwing things up. In this one, he's like super hot and moody, and he's just like too popular and too cool and too good at everything, and there's too much pressure on him.
I blame the influence of Hollywood on that one.
Thomas says Riverdale. It's like Archie merged with Twin Peaks. LOL.
Yes, only Twin Peaks.
But
I knew that was gonna set him off. I knew that
Twin
was gonna
Peaks.
set him off. I knew it.
Yes, that is gonna set me off. So Twin Peaks, the old show, has been coming out on Showtime recently. So we've been seeing all the past episodes because this year, Twin Peaks is gonna come out.
Like new episodes.
New episodes. And when you're watching them, it was made for standard TV back then, and we're watching it on an HD channel, and it's weird because it's like, and you're like, oh, they didn't have the technology back then.
Like, oh, we liked crappy stuff back then. You're all sad for us.
It wasn't garbage. It was that was what we had.
I know.
But that was the coolest
you don't
thing
know
back
better
there, because when you would watch Twin Peaks, you would get a lot of, when you're watching it, like let's say I'm watching it right here, and then you have somebody else, or you have you right. Let's say I'm watching it right here, and then something happens in there. Somebody says something, and then you're like, and you look at each other, and then look back. It's like, did that really just happen?
I never watched it, so I need to like watch some of the episodes. My dad loved that show, and that show and X-Files. My dad like loved those. He watched the heck out of those shows. And I was a kid, right? So I don't want to watch that with my dad. Like, whatever. My dad's a dork, right? I mean, he's my dad. So I never watched that stuff. Like,
dude, it was awesome.
It's weird because I watched like Xena and Buffy and Angel and stuff with my dad, and I watched Doctor Who with my dad when Tom Baker was the doctor. But I never watched like X-Files and Twin Peaks. I don't know why.
But
I don't know
like
why I
David
drew the line there.
Lynch's stuff is just so odd, because back then
didn't he have like unicorns and stuff in the show? Like really weird stuff happened, like for no reason, right?
No, I don't think it was unicorns.
There was something. I do remember like a couple of episodes that I would see like.
It was in the Red Room.
Yeah.
The Red Room
thing.
Where they would speak backwards. They would actually film them speaking backwards, and then they would reverse it so it would come out, regular. And it would sound really weird, and the little guy that was in here in the Red Room, he would be dancing all weird because they'd be playing it, him doing it
so
backwards, forwards.
That is so trippy. It's like really
Yeah.
weird. It's the weirdest thing. Like I never understood it. And maybe that's why I didn't want to watch it.
Thomas Harris says, I missed one episode and was lost for the rest of the season. Yes, you would be. If you missed one episode, you would be lost for the rest of the season.
Dude, Vincent was so unhappy. He made the ultimate spouse sacrifice for me. So he's watching Twin Peaks or whatever, and I'm a football super nerd, right? I love football. We've talked about me watching XFL, shameful, but I do. And so I have NFL Mobile because I'm like Verizon, right? So I'm trying to watch the playoff game on my phone, like all little, and I keep looking up at the big TV, and he's watching Twin Peaks, and I'm like, the playoffs. And so finally his episode ends, and I'm like, you've already seen all of these. Can I watch the playoffs on the big TV? And so he let me, but then for like 2 days afterwards, he was like, stupid football, didn't get to see Twin Peaks. He was very mad.
I was like on a roll watching that. I was
so
just
mad.
like, this is
It was
so
like
awesome. It was like nostalgia to the 10th
It
power.
was like I unplugged his Netflix or something. He was so unhappy for like 2 days.
I went through withdrawals and I only saw like 2 episodes.
It's weird. Or maybe I shouldn't let you watch the new Twin Peaks. It's going to do kind of strange things to your brain.
You won't drag me away from that TV when it comes out.
Has that new show Magicians started? Or
I
not
heard
yet?
that already did, but I don't.
We should try to check that one out and talk about that one.
What is that on?
I don't even remember. I just saw an advertisement for that, and I was like, oh, I think we would like that one. So I thought we should check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been watching like a couple of not so geeky shows. I really am into This Is Us. I probably should stop watching it. It makes me cry every time. I cry and cry and cry and cry. But I totally love that show.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
And there's a lot of movies coming out.
Because I like Peter Petrelli. He's pretty cool.
I do like Peter Petrelli. I miss Heroes, like the old school Heroes.
Yeah.
Like the way it was at the beginning. I really liked that show, and they totally ruined that. You know what show that I saw an advertisement for that I'm thinking
ended really weak.
Yeah, it was awful. That I'm thinking I'm not so sure if I'm down for. You've been seeing
Julie
the
Cruz.
Powerless?
The what?
Powerless.
Yes.
Where it's like the guy from Community and them, and they're like making the things for all the humans that have to withstand like all the battles that the superheroes are having and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's gonna be too like silly.
Are the humans like innocent bystanders, and there's a gunfight in the Old West, and they just have to have like suits so they can not get shot, or how does that work?
Yeah, kind of. So it's like they're there and they're planning, and like the superheroes are battling over here or whatever, and like a piece of the building gets knocked off, and like all this stuff shatters on them, and they get like crumbles from the building in their coffee, and they're spitting it, and they're like, oh, we should do something about it. So then they're making like, you know, cement-proof umbrellas and all kinds of stuff, but their inventions aren't super great or whatever. So I don't know. It looks kind of campy and
but it sounds geeky too.
It does sound geeky, but I was like, I'm wondering if it's gonna be too.
We're gonna like watch. Yeah, but sometimes I just really enjoy campy stuff.
Well, yeah, you watch Ash versus the Evil Dead. So.
Well, I mean, so do you.
Oh, I won't watch it completely. I kind of watch it.
You just like you kind of watch everything else, even stuff that you do like. So yeah, you do watch Ash versus. Yeah.
Sometimes I can't look though; it's too gross. It's too gross. But for the most part, I do kind of watch it. Yeah. I do. I like him, and I like Raimi. I like the stuff that Sam Raimi does. He's just there's something about his stuff is very like campy, but like good. I loved like Joxer. When he was on Ash vs. Evil Dead. I love that actor. Like, there's something, like, so campy and funny about him. I really like him. And I like, what's his name? Campbell?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. I like him as an actor, too. Like, again, campy and goofy. And then I like Xena, Warrior Princess. But she's not very campy. Well, she kind of is. She kind of does have that camp acting down. Yeah, she actually kind of does. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I retract that first statement.
Even Kevin Sorbo did.
Yeah.
But a buddy of mine, Angel, from Heavy Studios, actually got to meet Kevin Sorbo at that marvelous New Year's Eve thing with Stan Lee. The one that totally bombed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like, people didn't get paid.
Oh. Was it here in San Antonio?
It was the last convention that Stanley was ever going to be at, ever.
Here in San Antonio?
No, it was in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh. I don't know. I'm over conventions.
But Angel got to meet Kevin Sorbo, Hercules.
I mean, did it change his life? Was he
Yeah.
impacted forever?
Yes.
Did he still have his
He quite
muscles?
is.
Is he muscly or is he an old man? Sorbo.
He didn't. He looked like tall and the same. I don't know if he had muscles. I wasn't looking.
You weren't
at the
checking out his
picture
muscles.
first. No, that's not kind of a thing that I do.
Well, so speaking of conventions, you're going to be going to a convention
Yes.
next weekend.
Well, I mentioned it
So
last
we're
week.
not going to
I
have
think.
a show, right, on Friday?
I don't know.
Like, you're going to be doing stuff. Maybe you'll live stream or something, but we're not going to have a together show.
I don't know.
I hope not, because I made plans with my friends to go out. I'm off next
definitely-
week.
So definitely yes, we're going to have a show next Friday.
I'm going to be gone. Charles and Vince are going to have a show.
Uh-oh.
No, I
Charles has
don't. I don't know what I'm.
good
I don't know what
I know
I'm gonna
nothing of
do.
this. Now you tell me.
It's, because I'm going to be the only one covering PAX. So
Oh, your minion can't go?
no,
Oh. That's a
no,
shame.
no. And he didn't apply in time anyway, so
Oh.
they only do it person by person.
Oh, you didn't get like a geek out essay, like a
No, they
couple
don't
of
do that.
badges. Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Because what if you need like a cameraman or something?
Well, then he has to apply as well.
Yeah. I thought you had the hookup so that you had like it so that you could take your minion again. Because
I do have.
he didn't go
the
with you to
hookup too.
PAX.
No,
last
not
year. I
last year.
did.
No, you did.
It'd be cool if he could go because I have class and stuff. So
He
I
can't.
can't.
He's working. I've already
So,
asked him.
If you want to be Vince's minion at PAX, talk to Vince at www.vinceneedsaminion.com.
I don't think that's an
Hashtag
email
Vince
address.
needs a post a tweet at vinceneedsaminion.com.
I mean, you should. You might as well put out, but they have to, be able to use the camera and
Mhm.
make you look good.
Yeah. I have all the stuff to do that, and now I have wireless mics, so
Yeah.
that's cool. It's going to be a lot easier to get and a lot less heavy.
To
Which
be
reminds
carrying
me,
around,
I need to order a new tripod.
but you still need a minion.
But I still need a minion. So,
So you're gonna do an off-call for a minion.
yeah.
What about Alejandro? He probably has to work too.
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
I was like, I know all these people, but they probably have to work.
So, I'll be there. I've already done some schedules with some game developers over there. So, I have appointments set up with them.
That's cool.
And I'm going to talk to them, and then they're going to show me their games. So,
Tabletop
That's
games
fun.
or video
No,
games?
video games.
Video games.
Mhm.
You have tabletop game stuff going on too.
yes. Yes, the next Thursday night.
In a few days.
In a few days, a little more than a few days, we're going to be doing the pre-PAX game night. And it's from 7 to 2 a.m. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything, just go. It's at the Grand Hyatt on the 3rd floor in the Travis rooms. So Geek Out is saying Game Expo help sponsor that. Because to do that, it's a lot of money. So,
Tons and tons and tons of money.
yeah. I hate when that happens.
But y'all got it put together pretty fast because y'all didn't even know that you were supposed to be sponsoring it, and it kind of
No,
fell on your laps at the last minute.
Apparently, what happened is something fell through with whoever was running it at Geekdom. And
So y'all just kind of
they
picked
just,
it up.
yeah, we picked it up from there, and then we made it happen. So come out, have some fun. You'll probably meet some people from Tabletop. Even the founders of PAX might be there because they're big into tabletop games.
Cool.
But I
Very
heard
cool.
last year there was like 300 people trying to get into a room that fit 80.
Wow. Nice. Very good.
So
Very good. Yeah, well, hopefully
this time we'll be squeezing 300 into a space that can take 200.
Oh, that's normal convention stuff. So, if you're used to a convention, there you go.
So we'll see.
So all in all,
Boss
do you even know?
Squad says shout out to Geek at SA.
What?
What?
Do you even know if PAX has any tickets left? I would assume they do.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Weekend passes and stuff.
I don't think they're selling weekend passes anymore. They're only
Just
doing the
single
day
day.
passes. Friday is sold out, I think. But Saturday and Sunday are still open.
So people
I
can
think
still go check it
they
out.
can still go check it
And
out.
I don't really like conventions, but even I liked PAX because it's a lot of, you get to go and see these new games that are being developed, and you get to try out games, and there's a whole like tabletop gaming area, so you get to play games over there and run in game demos, and there's like a lot of little indie people. There's like an indie section for like little small developers that you wouldn't even know like had games coming out or had anything, so you get to play test those. So I liked that kind of convention because there were things to do.
Right.
So I actually didn't hate PAX South. So
At first you didn't get it until you went, and then you kind of understood why
yeah,
people like it so much. Because you get to play games that haven't even come out yet sometimes.
and it's really beautiful. Like just all the setups that they do and the lights and all the big TVs. There's a very I don't know.
There
there's
isn't
an
a
energy.
convention here in San Antonio that's put on a more awesome looking convention. I mean, there's bright lights everywhere, colorful
Like they
signs.
have a whole stage and stuff for Twitch, and they're doing interviews and stuff, and they're showing like
right in the
live
middle
Twitches. Yeah. So
of everything.
I thought PAX was pretty spectacular. So if you get the chance to go, you should probably try it out, just because you probably get something out of it. Especially if you enjoy video games or tabletop games, it's definitely worth it. So, all in all, cool. Our house is actually a warehouse
Thinking
right
of
now
going
for indie board and
to
card.
TPF due to Flash Gordon. Due to Flash Gordon and Elvira maybe cosplay.
Sam Jones is going to be.
What's TPF?
I don't know. What is TPF?
What is TPF?
Tell us what that is.
Patrick. And, Texas Pinball Fest.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
Oh!
Is that
Flash Gordon, his pinball machine. He has a Flash Gordon pinball machine.
So Sam Jones is going to be there?
No. I don't know.
Oh, because Patrick has a Flash Gordon pinball machine.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to the pinball thing. When is the pinball thing?
I don't know.
Same weekend as PAX?
Maybe. Let us know.
I didn't know pinball. Well, I guess I should have known I didn't know pinball was a big enough thing to have its own thing.
Apparently, pinball is really big.
Championships and stuff,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think a man talked to me about that one time, actually, asking if we had like some kind of convention like that here in San Antonio. So
Patrick says allergic to crowds. It's going to be at PAX.
the pinball festival's at PAX? Interesting. Very interesting.
So, if you're going
We'll have
to
to go check that out.
let me know. I can meet up with you, and maybe I can interview you about what you think about PAX if you're there. But yeah, you should definitely check it out if you've never been. It's definitely something to experience. It's got to be one of the best conventions here in San Antonio. After Game Expo and
and MizumiCon
and
is now going to be
Fair.
Otaku Fair.
But yeah, it's a lot bigger. It's like Las Vegas meets a convention in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's cool.
Without the gambling. And the free alcohol.
I was trying to look up if the pinball
And the
thing.
big water fountains.
There's big water
At the
fountains.
Bellagio.
Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm confused about what we're talking
I
about.
keep going about
anymore.
Vegas. But, yeah, no, so we talked about President Trump. We talked about the musical crossover, Flash Supergirl. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see that. Again, that's March 21st and 22nd. And talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about PAX.
TV shows and movies.
So
PAX and stuff.
Thanks again for checking us out. We really appreciate it. Like I said last week, we're glad that you watch us every week, and keep watching and tell more people about us. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to like us on Facebook. We're on all social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest.
I'm not great with the Instagram.
Yeah.
But I do tweet.
She does tweet.
And I do Pinterest. And we do Facebook.
So, I mean, we'll be giving you more stuff, so look out for some stuff definitely Friday, maybe Thursday, from PAX. I am definitely going to be live streaming at the pre-PAX game night. So if you're there, if you want to get on, talk to me. If you're a developer that's going to be at PAX, that's one of the places you can talk to me before everything gets all hectic. After you set up your booth or whatever, talk to me there. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Charles.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
And Geek Out SA.